Imagine being a child who has been torn away from their security blanket, their parents, the ones who stop the boogeyman from terrorizing the nights and curing their boo-boos when they scrape their knees. Now just imagine how they must feel when the CPS meant to protect them tears them away from their supposed abusers and places them with strangers who have zero comforting skills. They need to be calm. They are confused, lost, panicked, and needing their parents, but CPS took them away for the purpose of saving them. The kids don't even know why, and they are told that the parents they attach to no longer want them. What do you think that does? Do you think that this is how protecting children is supposed to look? Abolish CPS.
Childhood, growing and developing years of a person, this is meant to be a highly important time to create morals, fundamentals, and skills necessary to be a success. Instead, the trauma CPS creates in these young minds set a path of disaster, and statistics prove it. In nearly 90% of their cases, the trauma is unnecessary. Time is the one thing that can never be given back. CPS takes away moments in life that can't be replaced. The time keeps going, doesn't mean a thing anymore. They left as children, and it's up to them when they come home if they know who you are. Each second away is time you will never get back and keep getting older.
Studies are leading towards incarceration.
Now comes the honorable judge in the halls of justice, where the Constitution will hold strong and your rights to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness will trample CPS for all they have done to your child.
The truth and corruption that's revealed to you is enough to make you sick. This is not America we were sold.
Children are being taken from families at the rate of one a minute. It needs to be stopped.
It's time to wake up and abolish CPS.
In the United States, CPS makes upwards of $3 billion per day on trafficking and selling our children. The corruption may start with the caseworker, but goes through the judicial system, passing the governor through the Senate and into the White House. The entire system has a hand in the business known as CPS.
Our children are stolen every minute of a 24-hour day. They are being robbed of their innocence, their trust, their happiness. As parents, we are isolated and betrayed by a government we trust. States are balancing budgets on kids' lives. Only 12% of the kids taken will be reunified. Title IV funding is being riveted with fraud.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to this Thursday night edition of CPS Victims Hunting Justice. I'm your host, CPS Punisher. And tonight, people, we got a ton of information out there. We have the Senate Finance Committee out there saying that they want answers to what CPS is doing with money. But before that, don't forget, we got a chat, which I need to remember is back here now. To this, how do I do this? This way. We have the chat that goes right here. Brenda's already on it. Hey, Brenda, how you doing tonight? She's right there. Make sure you guys use that to let us know that you're there and that you have questions, because we're going to have some answers for you. We got people wanting to tell us all kinds of things tonight. We got our special guest Sam here. She's amazing at helping you guys heal in your journeys with CPS. She's got a lot of information that she's going to tell you guys. Carrie, how you doing tonight? So I'm toying with the idea of playing the Senate Finance hearing that they talked about all this DHS stuff today, and that they want to hear from you guys too. Christopher, how we doing? That's for you too, Brenda. I'm toying with the idea of putting this. This is 2 hours long. I might play it. If you guys want to stick around for it, I might put it on. Maybe we can all hang out here for a little bit and analyze what they're doing. But for first, let's bring out Herbert. Let's just bring everybody out. We'll bring out Melissa. Let's bring out Sam. Let's bring out Herbert. Herbert was here. He's gone now. Sam, Melissa, how we doing, ladies?
Golden.
We're doing good. We're doing golden. What's new? What do we got going on?
I'm scared
I
of
want to show you what
GAL.
to go.
I'll flip a coin. Which one first? Sam, you want to go first? Or Melissa go first?
Yeah, I was going to say, I was going to say that Sam's the special guest, so she needs to show us the cute and fuzzy things.
Yeah, it's just take a second. Can y'all see me?
Yep. What is that, a Labradoodle?
Yes, I named her Justice. But she wanted to see y'all. Say hey. Her name, Justice, so it's my new puppy.
I love Labradoodles. They are an overgrown poodle that is hyper.
Mm-hmm. So what do you got going on,
I've heard
Melissa?
all good things.
Well, I sent you the motion I received today filed by the GAL. I might have scared the shit out of her.
You did something, that's for sure. You did for sure.
I got to thinking about it. I know what did it. So when we filed subpoenas for testimony, we also filed a subpoena demanding the transcripts from the court, right? From the prior judge. Mm-hmm. You know, the corrupt asshole that doesn't like making record, okay? We subpoenaed his recordings, whether they're transcribed or not. We subpoenaed everything. Okay, well, she knows that it's in there that they openly admit there's absolutely zero harm in my case. That we have not broken any rules, we have not anything. So now she is going to be outed for fraud. So she admitted to fraud up front. I sent that over to Cheryl, and Cheryl was literally hollering in the background. She said, "She what? She what?" She couldn't believe it. She's like, I gotta print this off so I can read it in bigger print because I'm not sure I'm seeing what I'm seeing.
I can't believe that a GAL admitted that they don't do their job. I've seen it too. She's not kidding about this.
This GL not only admitted she did not do her job, but she admitted that she's taken the money from being paid to be a GAL. And then begging not to testify to the well-being of the children. I mean, what? It don't get no more fraudulent than that. I'm going to see if I can get the district attorney. I'm going to argue private prosecution. And I got to thinking about it. I think you're kind of right, Darren. That big hefty motion I've been writing, I may condense it down to one page. I am starting my law search tonight. I am looking for a case that argues if a GAL or someone to that level commits fraud in a way to taint a case that voids out the case because it's been intentionally fraudulently aimed, that it be void. You know, I'm literally going to bring out some. I'm going to break out some Void ab initio. Oh, Darren, you got no audio. Your mouth is moving and air is. There you are.
Yeah, you give them a whole handful of Void ab initio. That's damn right. I've been saying that forever. Every one of us should be able to hand them a Void ab initio. There's no doubt in my mind. We just got to figure out how to get it. The Void ab initio, people, is the way to do it. And I'm telling you right now that it's out there for every one of our cases. And you know the best part about Void ab initio is they don't even have to adjudicate it. It's just wrong, gone, not lawful, not constitutional, no good. Everything's gone. See you later. Bye. But until we can get a
Darren,
bunch of people
I told you out of our 11th circuit down here, for anyone who wants to look it up, Sam, this is something you need to take notes on. Look up Ex parte TC 2012.
Ex parte PC or TC, did you say?
TC, Tom Charlie. Ex parte Tom Charlie 2012 out of Alabama. That is a case law that everyone needs to download because it says if there was any extensive delays, a violation of due process, that your child is your case is void.
Now,
void,
what do they consider?
done.
What do they consider a long process?
13 months on a 12-month required hearing.
Beautiful.
So a hair above nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Failure to hold the 72-hour. Yeah, failure to hold the 72-hour in its appropriate time frame. Failure to adjudicate in the proper timeline, and failure to hear permanency when it was required. They avoided the case as if it never happened.
Well,
and the parents' rights had been terminated 3 years at that point when that void ab initio was argued at the Supreme Court. Yeah, they lost their appeal. They lost their appeal. They lost everything. They turned around and went for an independent action at the Supreme Court, and they was able to get an ex parte TC and get a void ab initio.
Void ab initio. The good old void ab initio. I mean, I've been preaching it for a long time, and everybody thought I was a quack, but now we're seeing it come to fruition.
Well, they didn't exactly do it like you say do it, but yes, right case law, different procedure.
Right, because a true void ab initio, you shouldn't even have to get it adjudicated.
Right, but a true void ab initio is an argument because it falls under a doctrine. It should be argued at the federal court, not at the administrative court, because it's got to have constitutional protection. So, at a minimum, it would be a circuit court filing.
Well, if they can make their own rules, then we can too. Right?
So, enough about me. Enough about scaring the absolute shit out of the GAL. And getting her to admit to fraud. Sam, how you doing?
Good.
So we've been discussing Sam's new show. What's your ideas? When you starting? I'm sitting here twiddling my thumbs, waiting for an answer. Come on. You should have started last week.
I can start next week. I'm studying this week. And I work at times lately, so it can be, as you said, early evening time for the Eastern time people.
Right.
I've got some ideas jotted. Like providing paths of healing and justice. With a lot of justice, healing into that if possible. For parents.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Everybody needs that.
Yeah. Definitely, if you've had CPS, yes, and you've lost your kids.
Yeah. I was saying, how do you treat these people? Like, what do you do to help parents heal in this process?
We work on mindset. Me personally, I developed the mindset that happiness is a choice. So every day I woke up and chose happy. Some people can click with that and some people can't. It's kind of a radical acceptance, and some people can't do that either. But, why be miserable every day? That's not helping you move forward and bettering yourself for your kids and getting them back if you're miserable and moping around every day. So to me, it's important to wake up with a grateful heart and a mindset of choosing happy. It's in my darkest days ever, and I woke and I chose happy, and I made my bed, and I got dressed, and I went to work, and I came home, and I studied the law, and I did that for my kids. Healing for me is helping others. That's been a huge part in healing, helping others. And turning your pain to passion is a big one. Things like this are healing also. Helping others and making change, hopefully, in the corrupt system soon.
So what do you mean pain to passion? Taking the things that hurt you the most and turning them into a drive to make you fight for your...
Absolutely.
Or like you do here or something like that?
My kids are in foster care. Why? I want them. I think I'm what's best for them. And so for the to change the system, to reform it to where kids, weren't going into foster care. Why can't they change the incentive to keeping kids at home instead of the incentive to be...
Well, I mean, it's supposed to be.
Right. But you have the incentive for adoption. Why can't they just do away with that? Because
give the family the money and the benefits if whatever they need. That's the way it's supposed to be anyway, right?
I think that's a great...
Yeah, they can incentivize the family.
Yeah, others. Anybody with an open CPS case should receive money immediately. As soon as it's open, no questions asked.
Yep. Agreed. Absolutely agreed.
And I've been trying to think of ways to get... Yes.
I'm sorry. Do you have...
Go ahead.
Do you advocate for parents yet? Are you advocating for parents yet? Or are you just helping them in the healing process? Like, do you help parents that are in this court? You're what?
Melissa has a...
Not yet.
Melissa has a class for me. And it's my understanding I need to start a nonprofit. I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Right. But is that your idea, is to work with parents as they're going through this whole thing? Like, as they're going through the process?
Darren, she wants to do the big program we're putting together. And then she wants to start a 501c4, which allows her to make changes in...
Oh.
I think we need to start in the counties,
right.
Coming together county by county, and then, and then region and the state. I think we need to start small in our hometown. So I definitely want to help parents who have a court case. I had nobody on my side. My attorney wasn't on my side. My caseworker wasn't on my side. Nobody was on my side. And my case...
Right.
My mental health would have been better if there was. Yes, it is. Everybody out to get you feeling. It is.
Yeah, it sucks, and that's what they do. That, and they do that on purpose. But to have someone like you around, so that someone could call and be like, "Sam, I'm losing my mind right now. I'm missing my kids, or whatever," and you could walk through like a breathing thing for them, or some sort of meditational something, or something along those lines to calm them down. For someone to have that on their roster all the time would be huge for people. I mean, people I mean, people need that more than they need their lawyer, I think.
And CPS gets parents' brains to start thinking that they aren't good for their kids. And so I want to be there to tell parents, you are what's best for your kids. Your kids do love you. You know, your kids do need you. You know, don't listen to CPS. They like try to brainwash parents. And they kick them when they're down. And you can only do that so much to a person until there's an impact. And
Sam, what is your opinion that CPS tells these kids when they're off? You know, like, where's my mom and dad? What do you think that they say to them?
I think they lie to them. It's the foster parents are so anti the parents, you know, and so I think that the foster parents are being lied to, and then therefore the kids are. However, the foster parents, you know, lie, and it's heartbreaking, and that's one of the most disgusting things I think there is about the system, to lie to a child like that about that. But yeah, I absolutely think that so the kid will submit, so to say, in a new setting. You know, you don't want to hear it go home.
Right.
You know, it got to the point where I don't even think my kids realized they were allowed to come home. And I think that, you know, they did that just to shut my kids up. My kids didn't have a voice in any of it.
Right.
And their GAL didn't speak up for them. Or I don't even think the GAL spoke to them. She was like non-existent in the whole matter.
I mean, doesn't it drive you nuts? Like, how are you supposed to reunify and heal a family when the kids are being told that, and, you know, like, they're just chipping away at the bond at every step of the way? I mean, the kids and the family, I think, should have family counseling, right? Don't you agree with that? Like, there should be family counseling throughout this, not just a visit, but like an actual counseling session or something to ensure that the bond stays intact, because by removing the kid and getting the separation from the parents lose it, and so do the kids. That's fact. I mean, that's a scientific fact. It takes 18 months for the heart to break and to reheal itself. That's scientific fact. That's why they do this stuff at 18 months, because after 18 months, kids have been broken, healed, and then they're on to their foster family. So that's why they do this in that time period. You know, it's no second, you know, guessing why. I mean, you just look at science, and science tells us this is why they do it at this time. Because, you know, you don't see them pushing for TPR at 3 or 4 months, because you'd have screaming kids in the courtroom. 18 months, the kids have now forgotten and moved on, in a sense. That's not right. Like, the kids and the family should be working together this entire time, because that's the way it's supposed to be.
I never understood why I couldn't talk to my kids, you know, and say, how was your day at school, or tell them good night. You know, they totally perfectly for that bond, you know. And when they take your kid, you don't know where they are, you don't know where they're going, you don't know how they are, you can't tell them good night. They don't get to take any of their belongings with them, anything that's comforting to them. You know your kids are good, and you don't get to talk to them. And then when you finally see them at a visitation, anything that's happened, that is so wrong. That's building the divide right there.
Right. Because they know something's going on. And
yes, I was very honest with my kids, age appropriately, of course, but communication with my kids was my main parenting skill or technique. I like to think that my kids know I love them and want them. At the goodbye visit, I got to tell them that. But I think most kids are lied to, and my kids may be lied to, but I think somewhere in their hearts they know, because that really bothers me.
Right. And it bothers all of us, no doubt about it. Not just for you, for us, for any of us. You know, like, it hurts. Your pain is my pain, is Melissa's pain, is Brenda's pain, is Carrie's pain. Is, you know, like, that's the way it is with all of us. You know, like, we all share that same pain. If there's that one thing that we can say is real, it's that. It's the pain that they put on all of us. I mean, if there's one thing that we all can say that we are the same in, is the pain that our kids have been removed. And they don't, you know, they make you go to classes for drugs and alcohol and this and that and all this crap that you don't need. What they really need to do is heal your heart, because that's what makes you obsolete That's what makes you back down. That's what makes you walk away from this stuff. That's what makes all of this happen. So you have a crucial role. What you're doing is a crucial role in keeping these parents vibrant and keeping them aware and alive in their case, because they just start to feel so beat down and desperate that they do give up in a lot of instances. So to have someone
they're
like
embarrassed
you,
and they
it's
have
just
shame and guilt. Yeah. A lot of parents contact me, privately, because they carry that shame and that guilt, and that's how CPS wins. When they got you like that. And so sharing your story gives you your power back, is what I tell the parents. And as in my experience, when you
Right.
carry that shame and guilt and you let it control you and quiet you, that's when they win. Nobody wants them to win. So I always encourage parents to share their stories, but they contact me privately because they're embarrassed and they're ashamed. And I get that. For me to go public with my I know people judge, speak my truth, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah,
I've gotten lots of
that's
support,
right.
and more people
Right,
have
and that's
shared
so
their
cool of
stories
you to
because
give
I
back the
have.
support. Right. Facts. That's so good of you to do that. Brenda says she didn't get Brenda said she never got the goodbye visit. She never got the final visit. And I'll tell you
I hear
something,
that a
Brenda.
lot.
Neither did I, because they told me I could have a visit via Zoom to say goodbye. And I told those bastards, I don't think so. I'm not saying goodbye to my daughter, first of all. And second of all, if you're going to make me do that over a Zoom, you sick. I'm good. I'm never going to do that. That's something that, you deserve as a parent to have face-to-face. And they weren't going to allow me to have it. So guess what? I never did it. Never going to do it, because my kid will come home. Mark my
It was
words,
the
my
hardest
kid
thing
will.
I've ever had to do. I didn't want to do it, but I
right?
felt my kids
You
deserved
know
that.
how sick that is. That's another sick, twisted thing that they do. Here, you got 45 minutes to say goodbye to your child. What kind of asinine, disgusting human
With no
being
prep,
decided
no
that was a good
compassion,
idea?
no guidance, no nothing. They throw you on a hot playground and stare at you. Like they don't have any counseling, any compassion, any words. It's a horrible setup the way they do it. And then you walk away and you never hear from them.
Yep. That's it. That's what you get. 45 minutes and goodbye. And that's it. And that's just disgustingly. That is about the most crude, rude, medieval, disgusting, antic thing that they could ever. Who in this Congress, in the Senate, in the presidential office, who decided that this was the way to do this and that this was a good idea? Because you know what? They should lose their kids. And they should have to have a goodbye visit by Zoom. That's the way that this should be. The people that sat up there and made this the right thing to do. And, here, we'll just give them a 45-minute video. Screw them. That's just absolutely asinine. It's just,
I got to give
and I know
some.
all these people out here watching know exactly what we're talking about.
Did some sentimental gifts to each child, so that was nice. But then, like, my two youngest didn't understand, and my three older ones did. So the two youngest wanted to play, and it was distracting from the other three who knew what was going on. So it was, it should have been one-on-one, or something. It was total chaos.
Yeah, with someone sitting there with a clipboard watching you, looking at the clock, saying, "Well, I got to go. I'm going out in 45 minutes, so let's get this quick here so I can go do whatever I want to do." It's disgusting. I can't believe that they even allow that to be the way that it's done. I just can't believe it. It's someone should burn at the stake for that. They really should. And I don't understand why it's even an acceptable practice, but it is. And for that, there's people like you to help people through that. So that is huge. And it's even bigger because you've done it. You've been through this yourself, and it still probably rips your heart out, but you put that aside and you do it for others. And that's very commendable that you do that stuff.
Thank you.
It really is. So what's your next move, Sam? We're gonna get you out here doing a show, right?
Yes.
You're gonna do what? 3 days a
I'm
week?
gonna.
You're gonna be doing?
I was gonna fix and say set up the schedule with Melissa. She said I get up to 10 guests. Just been thinking of ways to advertise and ways to market it, and what do people want to watch? Do they want to hear sad story after sad story? I don't think that people do. So I was trying to think of a way to make it more purposeful or happy ending-ish, or
Right.
make sure that person walks away with something. I don't know. So I was just brainstorming, but
Yeah, making it a
I had a
powerful thing.
couple
Making
like
it work. Make it a tool that they can use, not just by telling compelling sad stories. Give them tools that they can
right,
use to fight this grief and the despair and all of that. That would be an amazing. That would be. I think that's what people need. They need a place to look to get that good feeling back. I mean, I used to laugh all the time. I don't laugh anymore. Like you need to figure out a way to
yep,
teach people that it's okay to live your life, because everybody lives in that guilt. We don't even celebrate holidays anymore. Holidays come and go. We don't. There's no Christmas decorations. There's no nothing. We don't do any of that stuff. But it's okay to do that stuff still, because you still have to live. Like it's just So getting by that grief and that stuff is where I think you will benefit the most, of getting people just to feel good about the little things in life. Like I think that's because that's all you can ask. You can't ask for big things to be okay, because they're not. It's not gonna be okay. But
right.
like enjoy the little things, like the first snowstorm or a movie, or just getting people back bit by bit is what needs to be done. Because those are the steps that you need to get back into life.
Yes, I did a big thing at Christmas with moms, and I didn't encourage to celebrate Christmas. I encouraged to do something you've never done before, or go on a cruise. Something. It didn't have to be Christmassy, but just do something special at
Right.
that time of year.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of things that maybe that's something that you could arrange at Christmas time, is that you gather with a bunch of other CPS, people that have bared this CPS burden, and maybe you call it something else, or you know what I mean? Maybe there's something like that
Yeah,
that you could put together,
we'll go
or
snowball fighting or something.
right.
Go
Yeah,
ride dolphins.
exactly. Right. Do adult things. Absolutely. Like it's just, start a new something for people. That way they can live and endure. Because, it used to be great to look forward to holidays. Like it's no secret for all of us. Like it used to be awesome. You look forward to Christmas. You look forward to Thanksgiving. You look forward to all of this stuff. And now when it comes, I mean, for me, I just don't even pay attention to it. I don't look at it and get sad or anything. I just don't pay attention to it. It's just another day. But it sucks to go into the store and they're doing the Christmas carols. It sucks when they're doing all of these things, and it's not. I'm good with that. Like until our daughter comes home, I won't do it. And that's it. So
They took
yeah,
memories, were our memories, and we can never get them back. So I don't like to really acknowledge those times of the year either.
right. So maybe you start opposite sides of the year, like July 25th or something, and start some sort of something for people that have lost their kids for real. Like that's
Christmas
give them
in July.
something to look forward to.
Yes,
People that
and
lost their send gifts to one another, like Secret Santa, but you know what I mean, or something like that. Like everybody draws. I don't know, something cool like that for these people to have something to look forward to. Because a lot of people are wanting to move on in their life. I mean, there are those that choose to put themselves in a hole, never come out of it, and then that's fine too. Because this is just as difficult as losing a child to death, if not worse. Because you didn't, like there's no closure.
It is worse. It's called ambiguous grief.
Yeah, it's So how people choose to operate with it is their own. But there are people that want to just get back with life, at least get some part of life back, I guess. That's, what you do is the way to, I mean, that's it, like that's great. And I strongly recommend that people use your services when when you're up and running for the fullness.
Yeah, it's coming soon.
Because, yeah, I mean, we have your little, we've got your card here. Let me throw it up here on the board for people.
Yeah, I'll have to give you a life coaching one. I think that's the parent advocate one that you have.
Is it the parent advocate one I have?
Yeah, that's the one you have. I can give you the life coaching one.
Yeah, definitely need that. So that this one here, yeah. This is Sam, guys. This is her business. This is her. This is your advocating one. You're advocating.
Yeah. Yeah, the parent advocate.
I got it covered up here with the comments. Let me take those off here for a second so
What-
you can see the phone number on
what
the
are
bottom here. Sorry about that. Sam, what are some good exercises that you can tell parents to do that are grieving and they have problems with just getting by? What are some things that you can tell parents to do to help with this?
Just getting by. Well, okay. I feel like you're asking me two things, so let me just try to answer it in two ways. Waking up and getting out of bed, that's a struggle for a lot of parents. For me, it's going to sleep.
Right.
Yeah. So at night, I have my candles and my yoga, my bedtime yoga, and just my thoughts. I monitor my thoughts throughout the day, and it comes very easy quickly, but I'm always monitoring my thoughts to make sure that they don't start drifting to things that I can't control. I can't control where my kids are, what's happening to them, what they're doing. So that downward spiral of worry, it's very unhealthy for me. So I monitor my thoughts very closely. And now I just do it naturally, but that's something to help get through the day. I crave yoga now. I totally recommend yoga, and of course meditation. But some more practical things: keeping busy. I have like 6 hobbies, and and that really helps keep my mind on positive things. And
Right.
it's a way to connect with people. And I sell some of my paintings and jewelry, so it gets you back in the community and money in your pocket. So that's a really good way.
Right.
When I first lost my kids, I worked at Waffle House when I first lost my kids, and so I would work at all the Waffle Houses where I live, not just my home store. I was working constantly. I had just lost my kids, and because at work I have to be smiley and upbeat, and so I was faking it until I make it. Now that I look back,
Right.
when it was happening, I didn't know what I was doing. I had just lost my kids. I didn't have a clue what I was doing, so I knew work. I just worked. For about 3 months.
Right.
And
I was
it's
like
hard.
that, 'cause
It's
that's my
hard to
business.
live in that brain fog.
It
Yeah.
really
One
is.
day
It's
just goes into the next, and you don't even know what day of the week it is. You don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to function. You just at some point you finally draw the line and realize you got to stand up, throw your pants on, and go back out there, because if you don't stand up and do it, no one else is damn sure going to pay the bills.
I didn't lay
I
in bed
feel
one time. I got up every single day, and I did that for my kids. So having that motivation in you, that it's for your kids, it's what's best for your kids, that you being the best you achieving goals, it's what's best for your kids. Like, do it for your kids,
Well, and it's sad. One of the many things that I've noticed, like looking, because we know I deal with families all over the country. Okay. With all the families I deal with, I look at the foster placements, right? Because if I'm going to go write a bunch of stuff for you and you're actually abusing your kids, am I really serving the best interest of the child? Because that's really what it's about in the end, is the best interest of the child. And
Well,
not every parent should have a child. Like the kid abandoned in the crib while the parent went on vacation. You know, not even a month later, another parent did that same damn thing. Then all these parents have been putting fentanyl in the bottles, and the kids have been drug overdosing.
That's
So
disgusting.
considering all that, when I go out to Maine, when I deal with the family in Nebraska, Pennsylvania, all these families, I have to consider the facts of the case, and then I have to judge the foster home. You know, the bad parents are still better than all of these foster homes I'm seeing. I am not seeing foster homes that are even equal to an abusive parent.
Mhm.
An abusive
That's fact.
parent is still more loving.
Yep. Because they have evidence that shows that even if a kid is extremely abused, it still behooves them to stay in the home. I mean, that's what studies show. Because you're breaking a security blanket that a child will never have with any other person. And once you break that, you've ruined that child. That's facts. And not only that, but you ruin the parents as well, because you're never going to be good enough again. You're never going to be good enough. You know, like that's the mindset that you have, or at least I have. You know, like you're not good enough. You know, like if you're a father that's lost their kids, you weren't good enough to keep the kid. You know, like in the house, you're supposed to be the protectorate, so you weren't good enough to keep your family together, to keep the kid there. You know, like that's the way you're supposed to be big, strong dad, but you can't go out and shoot these people. I mean, you can, but you're not going to make any benefit of it. I mean, we're the only animal that allows anything to come and take our kids without haste. But I mean, maybe we should learn a little bit more from the animals. But that's what it does to you. You know, as a mom, you're not good enough. You're not good enough. That's what goes through your head all the time. I'm not good enough. You know, and you are good enough. You know, it's because some 20-year-old with a clipboard and a badge decided that they take your kid. That doesn't make you a bad person.
Speaking of dividing families, because, you know, we argue all the time that they want rid of fathers. Okay, so that case, the guy that texted last night, I went through, I did the motion, I talked to the family, and you know what they told him? Told his wife? If she divorces her husband, now he's the breadwinner, if she divorces her husband, they'll let her stay in contact with the kids.
Oh my God, that's sick.
Yep.
I think that happened
Another
to
one
Dan.
of chasing the father off. Well, that's what they tell me in my case too. If I shit can my man, that they'll still come after me for a failure to protect, even though we're together because the department told us to be together. And I showed the department proof of that, and the woman agreed with me. So, with that being said, you know, they just want to destabilize the families because that's the only way they can have repeat business. Or at least that's my opinion on it.
My opinion too, because they placed my kids with my abuser, so they knew that there was going to be repeat business, and there was.
It's so horrible that they do this stuff. I can't believe that politicians sit in Washington, vote on this stuff, and say that it's okay. I just can't believe it.
Well, and you know, Connie, when she was on the show a couple weeks back, remember when we were talking about the fact that the ASFA funds had expired for adoption and reunification? I think that if you remember, around that time of renewal is when all the states were doing the gathering of the documents. And I think it went for that hearing, and I think we just had this new big hearing. And I'm kind of thinking that's why they never renewed ASFA.
Right. Because no one wanted the responsibility of making a family sad. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, I mean they didn't renew ASFA because they're now proving that money has been used to sell children, to traffic children. So I think now more than ever we need to start sharing that letter of yours, Darren.
Yes,
you know, we need to start putting it out there.
I sent you one, Sam. Did you not get it?
I didn't.
You didn't? Oh, wait. All right. Let me resend it.
I can check my
Hold on,
email.
I'm gonna send it to you right now. I'll resend it to you. La, 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 la. Hold on a second. Yeah, we have that letter, guys. Send a request to me at abolishcps.com at gmail.com, and I will send you the letter that we had written for you to get these guys investigated. Because this is huge. These things are coming down the pipe, and we need to start. Now is the time to start getting loud about this stuff. Because
You want me to email you?
It's gonna yeah. Email me.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, Brenda says she needs one too.
Right.
I named it.
And like
Attack
Brenda
Titan
says
Force.
in her message, she says, she that her husband agreed to move out so she could get the kids. And it didn't work for either one of them either. Like they do it to all families. Their primary goal is to break the family unity, to weaken the family structure, and to start attacking them from there forward. I mean, it really is.
Yep.
Did you get it, Darren?
I'm opening up my email right now.
Okay.
Let's see. Get the right one here. All right. No. And 2, 3, 4. And do I have it? Drum roll, please. I do have it right here. Bang. Here we go. Now I will return it to you, Sam.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys should definitely hit me up, and I will make sure that you guys get this, and I will make sure Sam has it right now. Because we need to go after that funding. We need to go after and tell these people that they are using this fund inappropriately. I mean, Melissa had first-hand knowledge today that the GAL has taken money, in her case, for funds that she shouldn't be taking. I mean, this is really, really a big thing here, because this is how they get their money, and they're taking it off the
Hey,
backs of our
Darren,
children,
if you
really.
want, I don't care if you throw that motion up there so people can read that the GAL is openly admitting to how bad they're stealing money. There ain't nothing on that paper that's personal that I'm worried about. I mean, it's just a twit showing the fact she tucked tail and ran. And this is a big, scary woman. She comes huffing through there like she's going to bulldoze over someone, take you out in the back alley, and beat you senseless. This is not a nice, friendly woman. And with the way that she, let me tuck tail and run.
I will eat you.
Yeah.
That type of stuff.
After I'll eat you after the yellow streak wears off.
Okay.
Because I think that parents just kind of really don't understand how bad the corruption is in the case. In any case. Your case, my case, our neighbor's case.
Yeah, it doesn't that's what we need to get out to people, that this is real. Again, we were talking about it yesterday, but I really think.
Well, and look at the case. Herbert was in here preaching about you need to know before the child is born. And I'm going to speak about one of my best friends. His son they were expecting their third child. Child was born a week ago. But 3 months ago, my friend came to me and said, yeah, he can't get his wife to quit smoking weed. Alabama's not weed legal. They're just going to hide it till the end. They'll get around it. It'll be fine. Ain't going to be a problem. Okay? Well, when the baby was born, see what most people don't think of. When you walk in the hospital to deliver, the first thing they tell you to do is go pee in a cup. What do you think they're doing? Running a pregnancy test? You're there to fucking deliver. They're running a damn drug test on you. And then you have the child, and if you had drug in your urine, they're going to test that umbilical blood to find out how much drugs you have in your urine. I showed him articles that showed that it was a major law, that it was like huge, that they could put her in jail for felony assault in this state. Like they've really emphasized, parents being pregnant, that if you're taking an antibiotic that can be harmful to the kid, that is a crime. That child's life is more important than anything else. That is the way they treat it. And sure enough, they took their kids. They wouldn't listen. I boo-hooed and hollered and carried on and slammed my fist down a couple of times and screamed, and they didn't listen. And they not only took the 1-week-old baby from birth, right from the hospital, they took their 2-year-old baby and they took their 10-year-old baby.
Jesus Christ.
And my friend Rick, his granddaughter Juliet, I helped Rick build an RV park, and he actually named the RV park after her. That is Juliet's RV park. And, she is just a full of life little redheaded girl with bright green eyes that loves the world. She's in ballet. That girl has never wanted for anything, ever. And now she is in foster care because a mother is too stupid to listen. You give her 101 reasons, you show her the documents, you give her the education, you tell her to stay below the radar, as Herbert would say, and her greed and want was more important.
Well, it's just,
Now I'm trying to get him in touch with a very aggressive attorney locally that hopefully can bulldoze over the department like I seem to be doing up here.
Making that noise, Melissa, making that noise.
Well, I guess I made plenty of it because I swear that woman turned 3 shades of yellow and shit herself, and you can read it all in the motion.
Yep.
Let's see if Herbert's got any questions. Hey, Herbert.
Yes.
Well,
Any
I'm here.
here.
He's got the feedback on.
Hello.
Yeah,
I'm here.
you got any questions for Sam?
No, I concur with you about need to adhere to the sign. When I campaign of trying to educate parents about to keep them off the radar. And one of the things you said about the drugs, if a person's going to have a baby, they should stay away from drugs. Because they're just making themselves a target.
And honestly, so one of the things that I had said to my friend Rick, I said, look, okay, she's a pothead, not the end of the world. Over half the country is made up of potheads. Okay. No, I don't condone doing any kind of drug while being pregnant, but if she's going to continue to smoke her weed and all that other shit, have her quit 30 days before the possible delivery. Have her quit long enough that it is out of the amniotic, blood supply, and it ain't in the fluids, so that when they drug test her, that kid does not test positive for THC. And I begged him. I said, Rick, I said, if I've ever told you anything, I said, you talk to me every week. You know what I am going through. Like, he'd call me just for updates, and, you know, like him and my buddy, you know, because everyone makes buddies with their psychologist, right? You know, like they both say, you know, they've never seen someone with the stamina to keep fighting. Keep fighting. Maybe that makes me mentally fucked up, that I can't let these people get me down, but you know what? I prioritize. You gotta have your priorities in line. And mine is, I know what I can change, and that's what I'm gonna focus on. I cannot change where my son is sleeping tonight, but I might be able to change where he is sleeping on the 13th when we go into that hearing. So I am going to do what I have to focus on those things that I can change. I mean, I already scared the shit out of the GAL.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, might as well
I've got the director understanding the corruption of the branch that she just came to, and the relation between the judge and the department. Now we've scared the shit out of the GAL, and she's admitted to fraud.
That's awesome.
And I'm just waiting. I think here's what I expect. I expect that because we're going into a holiday weekend, Judge Hyde's probably already off on vacation. You know, because he's made plenty of money from stealing children. He's probably off on vacation. And what I think's going to happen is Tuesday, he's going to file a motion asking to deny the subpoena for his records under the grounds that they are inauditable, that they are indeterminable, they cannot be read, they cannot be reviewed, and he cannot transcribe them. Because every time he has been asked to produce a document from my hearings, there has been no documents. He's openly held hearings off record, threatened me, telling me how I'm going to serve 5 years, demanding that the prosecutor attack me, demand that I be arrested. He has told me 101 times he'll make sure I never see my kids again. He has told my attorney what a piece of shit he thinks I am. Well, you know what? It's time to turn it around. I'm not stopping till his license is gone. And I'm not talking about his reserve membership so that he could sit on that bench in that black robe and make $150,000 a year. I'm talking about that license to even discuss law. I'm not stopping till that is gone.
That's what you got to do, Melissa. That's it, right there. Nail on the head. Fight these bastards with everything that you've got.
Any other input, Herbert?
No, I have nothing input in terms of research. As you know, I don't think I mentioned yesterday, but I'm contacting CPS offices, not police departments.
Yeah, you did lightly touch on that.
Okay, yeah. I'm calling CPS offices in all the different states, not sheriff offices and police departments. I want to hear from CPS individuals. My whole thing is I'm listening to everybody, and I still go back to we have to create something for trying to get children back from the system, but we also have to create something to stop CPS from taking children, meaning the parents are the ones that can do it by following whatever they're supposed to do with the children to avoid being a target for CPS. And I'm hearing that every which way on this show as I listen to all your guests. When a child is taken away, deep down inside, that parent knows something they did or didn't do brought attention to CPS. I mean, I'd like to hear somebody tell me different.
You're saying that some action caused CPS to come along. Herbert.
The CPS that got them to take the child.
You're saying that every case something happened to initiate CPS's involvement in their life.
Well, like Herbert's saying, you know, everyone somehow ends up on the radar. Okay, in my case, I asked the court to put my daughter on probation due to her bad behavior and needing services.
Yeah.
Some people just apply for food stamps and they write on their application they have no money. You know, that is economical hardship. It grants a welfare check. That's why I say, you know, getting food assistance is a horrible thing, because you're giving them every bit of information about your family. And if they get bored and they don't have enough kids in care, well, you know what? You got 6. Let's borrow 3.
Yep. That's just it.
I think it works that way, Melissa. But from what I heard from my Arizona, they have an abundance of children. When I called, they thought I wanted to be a foster parent. Really, they weren't listening to me. They said, "Oh, you want to be a foster parent?" I said, "No, I'm calling about something else." They have an abundance of children.
What video do you have? You mentioned it to Congress or something?
Yeah. So Congress is asking for your letters. Let me see. Here's the United States Senate committee hearing, the Committee on Finance, the Family First Prevention Services. Check it out. They have they want your request, your stories. I'm not exactly sure of what they want. They want your story of how the money that they used to send to CPS on the behalf of your child, how that affected you. Opposite.
They want to know, how your reunification and the adoption incentives, all the funding for Title IV funding, they want to know how it was used to destroy your family, not reunify your family. I believe they have a link that allows for videos and writing.
It's called Family First.
And they want every family to tell their story. Family First Action, right? Family.
Correct.
That's good.
You should check it out. It's 2 hours long.
I will.
Great idea. I think that's a great idea.
Yes.
That I think Congress needs to hear all these stories. They need to listen.
Yep, they sure
That's
do.
encouraging.
That's what they want to hear. Well, that's what I'm saying. That the time to come is now to be loud about this. You know, use every opportunity that you get to, make sure you
with such a corrupt administration, you know, it's caused people to have to wake up. And before we get a decent president and everyone goes back to sleep and quits paying attention, we all need to speak out. We can make change before the next president takes seat. If we all work together, we all speak out. Because one tree in the forest can't be identified, but a whole damn rainforest darn sure could be found.
Wow, so that's deep.
That was the other brainstorming I had about my show, like uniting America, like as kind of a patriotic theme, like America, we can do this. We the people. I have found I'm a little patriotic when it comes to like the people not a together, but speaking up and standing power. And so being kind of that themed.
This is the, let me show you guys right here. This is the statement that they released today. I believe it was today. Says, over a decade ago, the Finance Committee, is that on the screen? I can't see. Is that, yeah, okay. It says, over a decade ago, the Finance Committee decided it was time to do something to improve our nation's approach to foster care and help families stay together. Back then, it was clear that there were two options: keeping a kid in a home where there was a serious problem, or take them away from their family and place them in a foster home or an institutional setting where they often would end up more traumatized than they started off. When late Chairman Hatch and I started our bipartisan work on foster care, we knew it was essential to create a third option to help kids and families. That became the basis of our Family First Prevention Services Act. As the committee meets today, we are 6 years removed from the bill becoming law, and it remains a top priority of mine and this committee to examine how this law is being used to improve the foster care system and how states can better realize its full potential. Family First centered around three priorities: prevention, strengthening kinship care, and ending the traumatizing practice of warehousing vulnerable kids. Kinship care changed the status quo. Family First provided new funding to empower kinship caregivers, grandparents, aunts, and uncles to step in and care for kids, make sure that they have help that need to provide supportive and loving homes. I want to take a moment to thank kinship caregivers in the room who made time out to be their busy schedules to be with us today. Big thanks to Generations, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, read this part here. I'm not going to go on with that. I'm short of breath for some reason. You can check it out at the United States Committee on Finance, Chairman Ron Wyden, Democrat, Oregon. That's his release. So check it out. It's 3 pages. But on there, he tells you what he wants you to know. Again, that's at the United States Committee on Finance, Chairman Ron Wyden. So check all that stuff out, guys. It's big news. But,
Hey, Darren.
Hey,
Being that Sam was telling that she was kind of aiming toward a like kind of patriotic and stuff, and I know you're into the animals. Look to the animals. They tell you how to protect your young.
Yep.
I sent a picture to your email. You may want to offer it to Sam for a show logo.
All right.
It's a very patriotic logo, and it's very family oriented.
I'm sure that it is, Melissa. I can't wait to see what it is. Let's see. Oh my God! You know what I was doing the other day? I was making T-shirts, and there was a picture of Joe Biden falling on the stairs, and it says "United We Stand, Joe Falls," or something along the lines like that. They're pretty funny T-shirts that I made. United We Stand while Joe falls, or something like that.
Be careful, that could be construed as a death threat.
Oh yes, well he did it, not me. What do we say? Let's see what Melissa has sent. Oh boy, I can't wait.
Oh come on, it's a cool picture.
I always feel like a jack in the box when you send me something. Like, what am I going to do when I see it? Oh, that's very nice. All right, that's very nice. Here you go, Sam.
But if you look, the bird is actually holding the baby bird.
That's pretty cool.
It's beautiful.
Good stuff, Melissa. Whew, thank God. I thought it was going to be some sort of dirty something. All right, guys. We did it. We made it through another show. Sam, you're up first. Last words?
My last words of hope and just something's going to change. I can feel it. I don't know what, I don't know how, but something's going to change. So everybody stay hopeful and be kind to yourselves, and we're going to get our kids back. We're going to make change. I really feel it. This Congress people wanting our, answers, how it affected our family, that's a good sign. I think that good things are to come. It's going to be all bad by any means. That's all.
Good words right there. All right. And make sure you guys stay tuned for Sam's shows coming up. We'll make sure when we know for sure when there's going to happen that we get that up there for you guys. Melissa, last words.
Love your children. No one is ever going to fight for them the way you are. You are your kid's hero. When you quit fighting, they go to the wayside of the foster care system and they end up being an abused statistic. Therefore, never give up, never quit fighting.
Yes, ma'am. Do we still got Herbert? It's
Yes.
Herbert. Herbert, last words, buddy.
Yes, on behalf of one of your viewers here named Christopher, I'm going to say what he's saying. Never give up. Christopher, on the side there, he just wrote something talking about, let's see, he says, never give up. There's no helping some people. And that's true, Christopher. There's some people you could tell them to your red in the face, and they don't want to listen. And then when their child gets taken away, they'll say, oh, I didn't know.
Yep.
And you're trying to help them. So right on, Christopher.
All right, guys. Thank you all, and you're coming to me, and it's me. All right, guys. So, like Melissa said, keep your heads up, keep your heads out of the game. Make sure you guys go do that Senate thing. I think it's 9 days. So make sure you go to the Senate's Finance Committee, and make sure you get your stories in on that. Thank you, Connie, for that stuff. Thank you, Dallas, for that. Good work, guys. That's just proof that, that the hard work is paying off. And, I'm going to go with the words of Sam and everybody else. I think that we definitely are going to get our kids back. It's not a matter of if, it's when. So as long as we keep making noise, as long as we keep fighting, I'm pretty positive that we're going to see that day sooner than later. So just make sure you guys get that stuff into the Senate Finance Committee. I am CPS Punisher. As soon as this comes up, I'm getting out of here. All right. I am the CPS Punisher. All right, there it is. Sorry about that, guys. I am the CPS Punisher, and I'm out of here. Have a good night, guys. Stay well. And yes, Brenda, I will send it to you and Sam both right now. Love you guys. Have a good night.